Hello, all you gaming geeks and weirdos. Thank you for joining me for another video. And look, I tried, and I told myself I wasn't going to talk anymore about the upcoming Switch successor until more information had come out, right? And I think I've been doing a pretty good job of not talking about that. Just because it seems like that's the craze, that's what everybody's talking about, etc., etc. But I did want to talk about this because this to me is an interesting development. It's something new that just points more towards the fact that attaching is going to be the key factor of the next Switch. Whatever they end up calling it, maybe it really will be called Switch Attach. Who knows? But we've all seen the recent leaks about it and its size. It looks like it's a nice size, a little bit bigger than the normal Switch and all that stuff. I'll see if I can find a picture of it and maybe use it as my cover photo for this video so you can kind of see an idea between what the normal Switch looks like now and this new one's going to be. But regardless of its size and regardless of its capabilities, about whether it's going to be PS4 like, whether it's going to be PS5 like, whatever its power comparison is to, there's a lot of interesting stuff that's been shown in this recent leak, right? And the most interesting part, outside of it having a little slot on the Joy-Cons, maybe it will hold SD cards there. I doubt it, because what would that be used for? That's probably just for magnets or something. But the most interesting part of the console itself is the fact is that there's an extra USB up at the top. Now, what could this be used for? Probably a multitude of things, right? It's probably used for charging. It's probably going to have normal USB in the bottom if you want to have it docked, but maybe if you don't want to have it charging from the bottom, maybe you can use it to attach a controller, not a controller, but attach something at the top of it to charge it that way. Kind of like what you used to be able to do with the 3DS and how its charging port was at the top. But what else could this be used for? And this is the reason why I feel like it's going to be attachments, right? People have suggested all kinds of stuff that's going to go in this USB, and it all makes sense, right? One thing that they talked about is this could use a camera. Yeah, it could. It could have a small, thin camera that goes to the top of the Switch that's used for maybe augmented reality. Maybe it can bend forward to look at your room and do augmented reality stuff. Maybe it can do, kind of like a Kinect thing where it can stare at you and now you're able to do like hand motion stuff. Who knows what kind of stuff it's going to have. Maybe it will allow for built-in microphones. I still think that it having a built-in speaker would be fantastic. Playing games like Astrobot and having the sound, and back in the Wii days when you would have Smash Brothers and stuff, the characters would say things and it would come out of the speaker of the Wii remote was awesome. That was just a cool little piece of technology that I'm surprised it didn't carry over yet, but maybe it'll come back. So maybe you'll have some kind of a microphone system that allow you to just plug in from the top and it sits next to you, or it just attaches, kind of like a little Wii Speak situation, and it sits on top of the Switch and it can isolate just your voice. Who knows what they're going to do with this, right? All kinds of zany ideas. Something else that uses USB that just happens to use USB-C? VR. The PSVR 2 uses USB-C to run through the PS5, right? This could easily be something where Nintendo's going to continue to use VR. But not in the Labo kind of sense, actual VR. And it just switches on there, attaches on there, and then you just hold your Switch Joy-Cons, probably have a little grip for it or whatever, and you just play like that. I always said that the Switch was basically one step away, because if you could hold your controllers like this and look around and not have to hold it like this, you could basically be fully immersed in a VR game. So that's an easy step. And then also something that other YouTubers have suggested, and I can sort of agree with also, because if you need to continue to go forward with your Nintendo Switch Online app, eventually you need to get to the DS and the 3DS, right? So the idea of it can also throw in an extra screen. And I don't know if that's going to be something where maybe you can use like an old Switch and you just get, like you have the original Switch and you just have a little adapter that makes it go from here to here to the USBs and it just sits on top. Or if you can maybe just have its own accessory for it. I don't know how it will work, but that's something else they can do. So there's more evidence that this thing is going to be Switch attach. There's more and more evidence that shows that this is going to be all about attachments. And personally, I'm kind of cool with it because if I had to be honest with myself, a cool idea that I kind of like is this whole modular idea of you create the system that you want, right? Like if you want to just have it be docked and you just play it for Pro Controller and nothing else, then that's your setup. But if you want it to be a portable and you get a screen attachment and then it can fold and it's basically like a modern day 3DS, that's the way you play, right? And that could easily be their model. Their model could be Switch attach, Switch 2, whatever they're going to call it, play your way. And that could easily just be something that they just go forward with and show all these different ways that you can play it. Because something that worked great about the Switch was that whole model of you can play this as a tabletop. You can play this docked. You can play this as a portable system. You can put two of them together and it can be like this whole little board game kind of thing. They can continue that trend, but now they can go, and now you can attach VR. Now you can attach a camera to play augmented reality games. Now you can play, now you can do sort of like Wii U, was Wii U Voice or Wii U Chat, something like that, where you can do video calls. You have the option, you can maybe even record yourself playing a game with the camera, and then you just upload it. Like all kinds of different ways to play. So I like the idea of it, but what do you guys think of it? And hopefully this will be the last video that I make on Switch 2, because hopefully it's going to be announced soon, in time for a winter holiday release. But up until Nintendo officially shows it off, of course, take everything that you hear with a grain of sand. Just consider it to be just a huge rumor and speculation, like I'm doing. And one reason why I'm avoiding talking about every last little rumor that comes out about this thing is because up until it's officially announced, we don't know what it is. And we don't know if any ideas that they may have had for it last year or this month might be scrapped, and they might just simplify it and make it just a regular console. Who knows? But that's all that I have for you today, guys. I hope that you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.